I'm going to teach you how to quit your porn addiction and your masturbation addiction, because I am someone who's quit those addictions. It has been exactly 1 year since the last time I have jerked off. Now, I know you're probably thinking, like, why do I need to quit? Is it really that bad for me? And the answer is yes, it's really that bad for you. Yes, you need to quit. And yes, there are benefits on the other side of quitting. It is bad for you because it not only does it affect your mental health, your attention span, your relationships, your sex drive, your drive to achieve goals. It affects all of those things, but it also affects your day-to-day relationships and the way you function and how you even like interact with the world and how you appreciate things. My porn addiction started when I was about 11 years old, and it started blossoming from there. And as time went on, the type of porn I was watching became more and more depraved, more and more degenerate. And that's something I bet a lot of people growing up in this generation can agree to. We became addicted to porn very early on. That becomes an issue because of all the things that I've just told you. And you might not even believe me. There's a reason why we as human beings have post-nut clarity. You know what post-nut clarity is. I don't have to explain that to you. There's a reason you feel guilty for jerking off, and you know that's not what you're supposed to be doing. Now imagine you're in a relationship and you're jerking off. You're basically cheating on the other person. And I know that sounds extreme, but you got to realize it is kind of extreme. You're literally looking at other naked girls getting fucked. How do you think she would feel if she caught you watching that? Like, if she was standing right there, would y'all be able to watch that together? No, you wouldn't. Eventually I got to a point where I hadn't jerked off for like 7-8 months. Some good progress. Well, we started having issues in that relationship, and that's when I really fell hard. This was the first big failure, you know. It had been almost a year, I think. Actually, no, it was over a year since I last jerked off. Not 6-8 months. It was over a year since I last jerked off. And I'm like, oh, you know, we're having issues in this relationship, and I'm really upset, and I'm looking for comfort. I'm looking for something that would make me feel happy, and I ended up relapsing. And that would cause 6 months of uncontrollable relapsing. 6 months of, oh, I feel so guilty, I can't jerk off, and I would jerk off. I would jerk off. I would jerk off. I wouldn't want to, and at this point, because I had spent so long not jerking off, I knew exactly, like, the post-nut clarity got so much worse. The guilt, the shame, the fear, everything just got so much worse because I was actually aware of what life is like without masturbating. And so fast forward 6 months and that relationship ends, and that was the last time I've jerked off. And it has been 1 year since I last jerked off. In that time, I've overcome a lot of difficulties. Even when I start making these kind of porn addiction videos and I'm trying to like make these thumbnails and I'm looking up these porn stars, I'm starting to even face temptation now, but I know that I have the strength to overcome it, and I'm going to give you the strength to overcome your porn addiction. Here's how you actually quit your porn addiction. Number 1, the first thing to do is to identify how much you're jerking off and admitting that you have it. Now, of course, you know, everyone always says, first up, admitting you have an addiction, admitting you have a problem. Yeah, we're already past that point. You know, you're watching this video about how to quit. You know you're past that point. So the first real step is to identify how much you jerk off. Do you jerk off 3 times a week? Do you jerk off 25 times a week? How much do you jerk off per week and per month? Okay, now that you have that number, maybe it's 30, or maybe, like I said, it's 25. Who knows? Let's say you jerk off once a day for the week, so 7 days a week. What the next step is to do, that worked for me, was to start limiting that. So, okay, you're jerking off once a day per week. So this week you can jerk off all 7 days, right? You can jerk off all 7 days. Next week, it's going to be every other day that you can jerk off. So you'll jerk off Monday, not Tuesday. Wednesday, not Thursday. Friday, not Saturday. Sunday. You'll repeat that for the next month. Now you're on that stage, and it's getting difficult, right? But you did it 1 month, and you've kind of gotten the groove of things. Now the days where you're not jerking off kind of suck, but you're starting to make some progress. The next step is, for me, that worked for me, was to double it. So now you're going to jerk off Monday, but not Tuesday, Wednesday. But you can jerk off Thursday, but not Friday, Saturday. You can jerk off Sunday. So that's exactly what I did. I did that too. Now this next step is going to be crucial for identifying your success. This is how addiction is truly overcome. So now that you're at this point where you're not jerking off as much and you've kind of built up some self-esteem, some willpower, what you're going to need to do is identify your triggers. Now, the reason why I put this here is because this is actually the format of steps that I did. I didn't just identify my triggers, eliminate the triggers at first, and then do it. I want to give you true and authentic advice from someone who's actually struggled with quitting. And I didn't identify my triggers at first. I wasn't even aware that I was identifying my triggers. I never even heard that advice, but looking back, I can recognize that I did. So my triggers were social media, seeing all like the Instagram thoughts, and the time before my shower. Now, I have this habit of sitting on the toilet before I take a shower while I let the water warm up and just scrolling on my phone. What I would end up doing is when I would go sit down to do that, I would end up jerking off. Like, it would just be an impulse. Like, I wouldn't be able to control it. Same with looking at Instagram. You know, if I was alone at night, you know, before going to bed and I'm tired, I had a long day, and I'm just scrolling down my phone and I see some Instagram thoughts, I'm gonna rub one out real quick. Or I'm gonna go to Pornhub. It's gonna be like an hour of time until I find like the right video, and then I'm gonna, you know, the steps. I identified my triggers, and this is the exact actions I took. The time before shower, I installed Duolingo, and I'm gonna prove this to you right now. I installed Duolingo and I began doing Spanish before my shower. So when I would sit on the toilet, I just open my Duolingo and start doing Spanish, and then hit the shower. Here is my Duolingo streak. And there's some actual proof, a 601 day streak. So it's been over like almost 2 years since I've had Duolingo. But again, I would start doing my Duolingo before my shower and doing my Duolingo, and then I'd hit straight in the shower. I eliminated that space of time that I would always masturbate. I've changed it, and now it's not an issue. The next thing was Instagram. I deleted all my social media, but first I unfollowed every Instagram thought, and I stayed away from that. That helped. What really helped again was deleting all social media. But if you don't want to do that, then you can just delete, like unfollow all the Instagram thoughts, all the meme pages that post like ads for OnlyFans, get rid of all of it. And that will help you with, like, now you're not being exposed to constant sex. Same with like TikTok, Facebook, whatever social media you use, get rid of all like sexual temptations. That's exactly what I did, and that's exactly what worked for me. I identified when I would masturbate, which is what you would need to do. When do you masturbate? What can you do instead of masturbating in that time? But if it's before bed, what you could do is meditate before bed. This worked wonders for me. When I was 14 years old, first trying to quit masturbation for November, I began meditating before going to bed, and it calmed my whole body down and let me go to bed. So there's a cheat code if it's before bed. If it's like me, where it's before a shower, then just fill that time with doing something productive and get straight into like a routine. You go here, you do this every single day. That will limit your chances of falling victim to like you lost all your willpower. Now you have to jerk off. And then finally is spacing out your time. So now that you've haven't jerked off in 2 days, you're gonna start doing it 3 days. And then after 3 days, I jumped up to once per week. So it would be Friday, Friday, Friday. And then from there, it was pretty easy. I had to reduce my triggers. I had spaced out my time. I didn't cold turkey it. Trust me, I tried cold turkey. I tried cold turkeying nicotine, weed, and alcohol, and none of it worked. Cold turkey has never worked for me. These steps have actually worked for me. And I'm being so serious. Like, and I'm not telling you that like that same like YouTube advice. I hope showing you my Duolingo like actually kind of proved it to you, because I have a feeling that a lot of people, like especially on self-improvement, they record these videos and they give you this advice, but you don't really like know if it's true. And I hope showing you my 601 Duolingo streak can tell you it's true. And that's part of the reason why I even record outside, because I feel like by me being out here on a hike, like literally, check this out. I'm recording this video off a ledge. Cool stream over there. By me recording this video on a hike, actually outside and engaging in activities, I hope it kind of proves to you that I'm more like, I hope it kind of shows you that I'm authentic and my advice means something, because I don't want you to get like the wrong advice. I want to give you the exact steps that I've taken to help you achieve your porn addiction goals. I want you to succeed and get rid of it, because there are true benefits in your relationship, your love life. People will notice and you will get more girls. You can have such a better life without porn. And I just think porn is one of the most terrible things. Not only does it does damage to you and your younger self, literally children are watching porn, 10-year-olds are addicted to porn. Not only does it do damage to that, but it also damages society as a whole. We've become way too sexualized as a society, and we're getting away from what truly matters, which is family. You know, it's weird for people to think that, like, for me, having a bunch of hoes sounds terrible. I do not want a bunch of hoes. I want one wife for the rest of my life. And I think that's the way it's supposed to be, because that is what's been happiest for me. People are not happy when they're fucking 20 different people. I'm sorry, it's true. And listen, if you're trying to quit porn, and like, make sure if you got any questions for me about porn addiction, if you need extra assistance, I am actually going to be creating a Discord soon. You can hit me up on there. Leave it in the comments if you got any questions or you need some assistance, and I will get to you and we can talk about it, and I can actually help you and bring you away from your porn addiction. And just, I want you to remember one important thing is you will relapse. Again, I relapsed after a year streak. I relapsed after a month streak. I relapsed. You will relapse. You just can't keep relapsing. It's okay, and it's important that you relapse. It is a part of the process, but only a fool will relapse twice. You understand what I'm saying? If you relapse, let's say you masturbate today, and it's been a week since you masturbated and you're aiming for 2 weeks. You masturbate today. If you masturbate again tomorrow and the next day and the next day because, oh, I already masturbated today, it doesn't matter. Then you're playing the game the wrong way. You're being an idiot. If you relapse once and you realize, all right, I gotta just finish out this week, you know, it was a hard time, maybe let's change the approach a little bit, that's how you do it. And like I always say at the end of every single one of my videos, never quit, but this time, quit masturbation.